Your version or my version?
Mine's the truer version.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Coffee meets bagel, right?
I mean, you DM me first, right? You DM me after that.
Yes, you can tell everyone.
I was volunteering at this non-profit organization. You were, this one of the students there. Yeah, this is the first time we met.
And then we got closer as friends, we served together. And then
At some point,
I started doing triathlon, right? And then I just randomly Googled Christian triathlete. And Google brought me to someone's blog, and this someone had liver cancer and a liver transplant before, and then went on to do an Ironman, and I'm like, that's so crazy.
I mean, there was once we went to IKEA to buy like a table or something for your house.
We
I mean, we
went
were just
together,
friends. We were just friends, right? I mean, I can imagine myself.
buying a house together,
Yeah,
shopping
perhaps.
for furniture together.
Which actually happened, right?
Yeah, which actually.
After our 5th date, and you straight away introduced me to your family. And then I was like, wow, this guy really for serious.
When you told me you had another you had your first liver crisis, that was a crucial point for me, because at that time, suddenly everybody who loved you, who also loved me, were cautioning me, saying that I should think twice about getting into a relationship with you, because I had like this bright future ahead of me. Do I want to be an early widow and things like that? But I think it was just that the purity of heart that you had for the poor that made me realize that, you know, maybe there's more to life than this. And that was when I think I realized that I fell in love with you, because I just prayed and was so desperate, like, God, would you just grant us like 3 years of marriage? And today, this year is actually our 10th year.
That you are going to work overseas months before marriage. So inside my heart, like, hey, please don't go, kind of thing. Yeah.
I was wondering to myself, if you really love me, why would you stop me from pursuing my dream? And then I felt that I wanted the career so much because it was what I've been working towards.
It's not that I am stopping your dreams, but we have decided to get married, and marriage is not one-sided thing because we need each other.
So I remember one night, she was cooking. I don't remember what she was cooking, what the argument was about. And so I remember she was using this wooden spoon, which she just threw it at my feet. And I opened the front door, and I said, "You see this spoon?" And I just fling it outside of a house, across the field.
It's almost like a shameful incident, it's a humiliating incident, but I think these are exactly the kinds of fights that many couples go through. It's hard to talk about even past conflicts and to be able to draw lessons from that and sow it into our future.
I realized the things that we fight about is kind of like at its crux the same things. I mean, it could be I don't feel like you love me enough, or you don't feel like you're respected enough. Like all these things that we fight about are just symptoms, like all small things, but they all lead to something deeper.
Okay.
I learned that, in a marriage, that we do have to make sacrifices, and this was a sacrifice that I had to make, which is to forgo the job opportunity. Even if I had that job, but you are not by my side, it still will not feel as good.
Oh my gosh, Tim. Don't say it, please. Don't say it, please.
I miss the moments that we can spend more time, quality time.
I mean, it doesn't have to be going out for dinners. It's just as simple as just sitting down in the living room and watching a movie together. I just felt that we lost it. We no longer do that anymore.
Maybe dream a bit more, because I think, we are married for 10 years now, and I think, not to say we should have plateaued, but I wish we could do something different. Maybe helping the poor in a different way, which we haven't done before.
It's really that moment when you became a father. And I know how afraid you were to actually hold our baby and to bathe our baby. But when I slowly saw you and observed you, changing the nappies and all, my friends, they wouldn't change nappies for their babies, it's always the wife.
Really?
So I really appreciate you for taking up that role of parenthood
We
together.
share
with you.
responsibilities together.
I'm learning a lot from you in the sense that because of the way you posture yourself, you choose to do something that's more meaningful. You make an impact in so many people's lives, like even in mine, you know. And then now I'm here also inspired to do the same.
I remember we had this moment. You were walking in front of me, you were holding our firstborn, and I was holding our second one. And you were holding both our bags. And then I had this aha moment because I told myself, actually, this is the kind of marriage that we've always had. Like, you've always carried two bags. So you've always carried your burden, but you've also always carried my burden. And because of that, I have the courage to do these amazing things in the world, like be a humanitarian doctor. And people always say, oh, you know, you're living this great life and all that. But what they don't know is that I can do that because I have a courageous husband who believes in me. Actually, I didn't even realize that you were carrying it. It was only when we got to the car park that I said, oh, where's my bag? Then I realized that you were always carrying it.
I think it doesn't matter whether you're married for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. It's something, I think what's important to do to go deeper in a marriage is not to box each other up.
Marriage is always changing. Like a tool or a communication technique might work for a certain season, but as you grow in marriage, you also may outgrow that. And so the key is to keep growing with your marriage and keep finding ways to explore, to be committed to pivot when it's needed.
I think there's a tendency as a guy to want to solve things like immediately. I think a lot of times the conversations might not lead to like a solution.
And it's okay.
Yeah, and then that's okay. I think at least there's a greater awareness, and actually that helps when you're conscious of like where each other are.
I can ask myself, like, why are you feeling this? And then it can help me get deeper. Then we can have a discussion.
In some sense, we shouldn't be afraid to get our hands dirty. I'm picturing like a garden. You know, if we never want to get our hands dirty to like dig up some like things that's buried, right? You will never be able to uproot certain weeds or plant new plants or new flowers. So I think like to picture our marriage as a garden is not stop taking care of that garden.
Yeah.